You know, I definitely wasn't expecting this fight to happen, but it's not a comic book character and it's not an anime character, so I can roll with it. Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is the Raptor, and welcome back to another one of my Death Battle prediction videos. So, we're doing something a little differently, it seems, for this episode of Death Battle, this next one. So this is Season 7, Episode 16. So that means after this, we got 4 more episodes left of the season. It's actually coming to a close pretty quickly. But yeah, for this one, we've got Team Red versus Team Blue. Literally Red versus Blue as a death battle from Red versus Blue on Rooster Teeth. Now, I want to get something out of the way right at the beginning. I am not that familiar with Red versus Blue. I know of it, I know some things about it, but I don't know everything there is to know about it. But I know that you guys like to see me talk about death battles regardless, and you guys like to see me predict death battles even if I don't have the most amount of information on them. And I've still done some research, but this one in general just seems a little weird to me. I am actually pretty excited for it, even if I don't know that much about the characters. Sure, it's obviously a promotional thing, kind of like Meta versus Carolina, or the boys battle, you know, that kind of thing. But still, I have a feeling this is going to be one of the more humorous death battles because we all know what Red versus Blue is. You know, it's like a parody of like team-on-team battles. Not saying that the characters are incompetent or necessarily incompetent per se, but you know, they're definitely like dysfunctional teams. And you know, I think that, you know, with the banter between the characters, I think this is going to be an episode that's more so centered on the humor side of things as well as the promotional side of things. So I'm not expecting like this huge extravagant fight between the two teams. For me, I'm mostly just expecting it to be funny. But honestly, we haven't gotten one of those in a very long time. So, you know, I say have at it. You know, let's take a break from, you know, some serious versus debating and let's actually just have fun. I'm going to sit back, relax, and enjoy this fight for sure. I am a little concerned, though, when talking about, like, you know, if there's actually going to be a winner here. Because I'm not going to lie, I was surprised that there was a real winner between the Meta and Agent Carolina. Because, you know, these are characters that Rooster Teeth owns, you know, just like Death Battle. Rooster Teeth owns Death Battle. And I'm thinking, like, would they really want to put a definitive answer, you know, regarding two characters that they own? I was actually surprised that they wanted to do that. And with Red versus Blue, you know, the thing is, like, the whole show is Red versus Blue. And while obviously the point of the show is not, you know, strictly which team is stronger than the other, I would almost imagine that there would almost be like an automatic positive stigma and an automatic negative stigma for whoever wins this death battle, you know? If you're a fan of both Death Battle and Red versus Blue, and you see this death battle and one of the teams actually wins, then it's like if you were to watch Red versus Blue afterwards, you're always going to have in the back of your head, well, you know, this team is better, you know, Team Red is better or Team Blue is better because they won the death battle, you know what I mean? And I'm not sure that Rooster Teeth would want to do that to another one of their properties, you know? I'm not sure if Death Battle would want to say definitively that one team is better than the other, because at that point, what's the point of watching the rest of Red versus Blue, you know? So there's a lot of weird things going on here, and it makes it very hard for me to predict. You know, I'm still going to try my best and everything like that, but yeah, this is a weird one. And I know a lot of people are going to point out that they haven't done an ambiguous winner fight in a very long time. So sure, maybe they're moving on from that entirely, or maybe they're going to bring it back just for this case, you know? Because again, I'm not fully convinced that there's going to be a real winner here, but they actually advertise it as who would really win. So it's hard to say. There's a lot of ambiguous stuff going on. And it's not just whether or not there's going to be a winner, there's also who's going to be on these teams. Like for the Red team, I think we can all agree that it's probably going to be, you know, the 5 main characters on the Red team. So, you know, you have Sarge, Simmons, Grif, Donut, and Lopez, right? I'm pretty sure that those are going to be the team members on the Red team. But when it comes to the Blue team, it's a revolving door because characters die on the Blue team. Like, if you're looking at just, like, the characters who are currently active on the Blue team, and I might be getting this wrong, but if you're looking at the characters who are actively, like, who are alive and active, then you have Tucker, Caboose, Grif's sister, or sometimes just known as Sister, and Washington. So those are only 4 characters, as opposed to the Red's 5. So that doesn't seem like a very fair fight. Of course, though, you could go with, like, I believe it's the originals of the Blue team, which would make it 5-on-5. Instead of Washington, you would have Church and Tex. Or maybe they'll have some sort of weird combination of it. Or maybe they'll bring Carolina back for this battle. I don't know. Like, they left so much ambiguous, so many questions that we don't know. They didn't answer anything at the end of Venom versus Corona. They just said Red versus Blue, who would really win, you know? So, I don't know. This is so difficult to predict because there's so much we don't know. But I think that no matter what kind of characters they put on the teams. You know, when it comes to the whole weapons and armor kind of thing, I don't think there are too many distinct differences. I could be getting that completely wrong, but it sounds like they're made to be pretty even in those areas. You know, that's kind of like the whole point. So I think it's more so going to come down to, you know, the main characters on the teams, like the characters themselves and how they bounce off against each other and everything like that, and just which team is more set to win based on the team members. So how do their skills stack up? Well, no matter how you analyze that stuff, I think it's pretty clear to say that Team Blue overall has a bigger presence on the show, even if it's just by slight margins. But it seems like what they do pushes the story forward more often. It seems like they have a better relationship with the freelancers than Team Red does. It just seems like there's more attention put on the blue team than the red team. So that makes me inclined to say that there might be more material to go off of for the blue team, like them showing off and like doing, you know, impressive feats rather than the red team. But at the same time, again, the red team is not a revolving door like the blue team is. So it's like, you know, they've been sticking together for basically the entire show, basically, you know, those 5 members. So that makes me think that maybe they have better teamwork skills because they've just been around longer, you know, those 5 members specifically. But actually looking at how the members of Team Red plays off of each other, it doesn't sound like they would actually work well together at all in this kind of fight. You know, Sarge is known for coming up with terrible strategies. And while Simmons is smart, he sometimes cracks under pressure, so I don't know how much of a factor that's going to be in this fight, because, you know, it's a death battle. Grif is lazy, and he's arguably the most incompetent character on either of the teams. And then you have Donut, who is competent, but, you know, he's still more of a rookie at the end of the day, more so than the other characters, and barely anyone can understand Lopez. So just at face value, it doesn't sound like Team Red would be set up to win this kind of fight at all. It just sounds like they're way more dysfunctional than the blue team is. But even with that, the blue team isn't very well-rounded either. And I get that that's the point. I get that the point is that it's supposed to be funny, that the teams don't really work well together. But looking at it from an objective versus debating perspective, it's really weird. Like, you have, like, just going over the characters that they might use. Like Church, he can't aim for shit, and he gets angered easily, kind of like Sarge. And then you have Tucker, who is lazy, although probably not as lazy as Grif, but still pretty lazy. And then Grif's sister isn't much better. And then you have Caboose, who is a rookie, kind of like Donut, but there's also a chance he might be insane. And then Tex and Washington aren't that bad. Like, they're pretty competent overall. But again, we don't even know who they're going to use definitively. So this is so difficult. Again, this fight feels like something that's just going to be more humorous than anything else. It feels like it's going to be more of a joke fight. I don't know how far they're going to extend that, but it's going to be more of like a humorous, you know, laugh out loud kind of battle. So I think they're kind of leaving it ambiguous for a reason. I don't think we're supposed to take this one extremely seriously. I could be completely wrong though. But again, I'm just going to sit back, relax, and enjoy this fight. It doesn't really feel like either of these teams deserve to win, you know what I mean? Again, I know that that's the point, but it's from this perspective, it's so weird. And like I said at the beginning of this video, I'm not sure how much I buy that there's going to be a real winner to this. You know, I don't even know if I'm going to count this on my prediction record no matter what happens, because this is just an ambiguous case, and I just really want to get an answer out there. Again, I don't like doing predictions where I say like an undecided answer, but this really feels like one where I should say an undecided answer, or I should just say that I think that there's not gonna be a winner. But if you guys really want an answer from me in terms of which team I think could win if they were doing this like realistically, like a real death battle, then I think it's safer to side with the blue team than the red team. I think the red team overall, like I said, is more dysfunctional. They're both dysfunctional, but I think red is just more dysfunctional, and I think it's less likely that they're going to come together as a team than blue. I think that blue overall has a slightly better track record. I think that overall they have more consistent not consistent feats, but like they're more consistently competent is what I'm trying to say. And, you know, I think that if the red team were to win, it would be because of either like Simmons or Lopez, because I think overall they're the strong suits, like they're the best thing that Team Red has going for them, but they have their own flaws so much to the point that I'm not sure if it's going to be able to, you know, overtake the blue team. The blue team, again, is not perfect by any stretch, but I think overall, again, it's more likely that they're going to come together and pull off a win more so than the red team. If Sarge can't even come up with a good strategy, then I don't really see them pulling off this win. So basically what I'm trying to say is that I think that either this is going to be some sort of tie where maybe they all die or something like that just for fun, or they make a truce or whatever, or the blue team is going to win if they were going to go that route. I'm not sure if I'm going to count this on my prediction record either way, because again, this one is so weird. And ultimately, again, I'm not sure if there's going to be a winner. I kind of want to say there's not going to be a winner, but if there were to be a winner, my guess would be the blue team. Also, this just recently came to my attention, so I thought it would be important to bring this up. Apparently there was some sort of death battle leak that came out right before Flash versus Sonic, which had like a bunch of different things on it. Like it said that Flash would beat Sonic, which he did. It also said that there would be Billy Butcher versus the Seven death battle, which there kind of was. And then it also said that Caboose was going to die in a death battle, or Caboose was going to die. And Caboose is one of the characters on the blue team. It also mentioned 2 fights that haven't come out, or at least they haven't come out yet. So again, the validity of this leak is pretty up in the air, but the fact that they predicted that Flash would beat Sonic, and there would be a Boys 7 battle, and that there would be, you know, Caboose in death battle makes me think that this leak might be valid. Again, I'm not really sure, but if that were to be the case, that means that a character on the blue team dies. So does that mean that the blue team is actually going to lose? Well, see, I don't know about that. First of all, the validity of this leak is a little up in the air, but it's also the fact that just because Caboose dies, like one of the characters on the blue team, that doesn't necessarily mean the blue team is going to lose, you know? Again, like I have a feeling that if there is a winner, there are still going to be casualties on both sides, right? That's what I would be thinking. I don't think that one team would completely survive while the other team would completely die if this were to happen. And plus, the fact that the leak specifically said that Caboose will die, not the blue team will lose, makes me think that they're trying to throw us in for a loop. That they might want to make us think that the blue team is going to lose because one of the blue team members dies, but in actuality, the blue team member dies, but the blue team still wins. You know what I mean? It seems like they're intentionally trying to trip us up. So again, I wouldn't read into this leak too much, just because the validity of it is really, we can't really confirm whether or not it's actually true. But regardless, just because it says that a blue team member will die, which may or may not happen, but just because it says that a blue team member will die does not necessarily mean that the blue team in general is going to lose. So I'm still sticking with it. I think that ultimately there might not be a winner, but if there were to be a winner, my guess would still be Team Blue. But anyway, guys, I want to hear what you guys have to say. I'm sure that a lot of you guys know more about this show than I do, so I want to hear who you think is going to win. Let me know down in the comments below. I'd really like to hear what you guys have to say. If you enjoyed this video, please give this video a huge like. I always appreciate the likes. Leave your comments down in the comments below. Subscribe if you could too. That would be amazing. But that's it for me. I will see all of you guys in the next video. Peace out.